Well, the conditions are significantly deplorable. Clinic facilities run by Doctors Without Borders have been a target by Israeli bombing. Today, for instance, Doctors Without Borders said that its office in the Gaza Strip came under fire. And as a result, walls of the office were turned down and part of the building engulfed in fire, as they said. But it's not only that. A number of Médecins Sans Frontières cars, all of them clearly identify with the logo of Médecins Sans Frontières, were burned down. Another car parked at the other side of the street was demolished, possibly by an Israeli tank. All this according to the statement produced by Médecins Sans Frontières. So the situation is quite, as I said, difficult. Well, I regard those possibilities as nearly zero. I mean, I based my opinion in the fact that previously they have been trying to evacuate their staff, and all those attempts resulted in a catastrophic end, as the Israeli forces were firing to them or even bombing. Regarding the evacuation, as I see it, is practically impossible. I give you one example. 2 days ago, on November the 18th, in a convoy organized by Doctors Without Borders, in order to evacuate a number of 137 persons, including children, composed by staff, patients, and staff family members. That convoy came under attack by the Israeli forces. And then there are other examples. If you remember what happened some days ago in a hospital before the attack to the Al-Shifa hospital in Gaza City, the Israeli forces demanded that the evacuation of all doctors or all patients and everybody there in the hospital, to evacuate the hospital. At the same time, they were actually bombing the hospital and the ways going out of the hospital. So evacuation was not possible anyway.
Tonight, Israel says its military is carrying out a precise and targeted operation against the largest hospital in Gaza, already without power, water, or basic medical supplies. Staff there tell NBC News they buried 80 people in a mass grave today. In nearby streets, other Palestinians lie where they were killed. And as fighting rages all around the hospital, time is running out for dozens of premature babies whose incubation.
Recently was an attack by the Israeli forces 1 kilometer near the Nasser hospital in Khan Younis in the Gaza Strip. A total of 122 patients arrived at the hospital immediately in the aftermath of that bombardment. 70 people were dead upon arrival. Dozens of people were injured. All this according to a statement from Médecins Sans Frontières. Among the injured people, there were several children. Those who survived it, they were having severe burns injuries. In the burn unit of the hospital, where the Médecins Sans Frontières doctors work, surgeons have been round the clock, doing around 10 burn surgeries. That means they can hardly cope. And the hospital is overflowed, as they said, with hundreds of patients with burns who must wait for surgical care. That can give you a picture how difficult the situation is for the patients, of course, and for the doctors trying to provide the help the best as they can. added to the fact that the supply of surgical equipment, medicines, etc., is hampered by the blockade exercised by Israeli forces. If you put together the lack of sufficient ambulance, the lack of fuel, at the same time the indiscriminate bombing that the Israeli forces exercise upon the convoys they're moving, even if they have clearly stated that they are transporting patients. I mean, you make the equation of all those factors and you realize that it's extremely difficult. So the solution for this is a ceasefire, and that is exactly what Médecins Sans Frontières have been asking over and over again, ceasefire be implemented. That would be all from my part for the time being. Thank you very much.